Oh, my God.
Hey, Tour of Britain was amazing.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I knew Wow would pull it off. But what about that little kid climbing with Jumbo?
Oh, I'm going to get into that.
Oh, my God. Did he get fined? Did
No!
they all get fined?
Yeah, the UCF fined his socks.
The little kid cannot.
Yeah, the kid got fined.
He can't ever enter a bike race again.
Some guy shows up at his grade school with a measuring stick for his socks. It's like, do you have committed crime? Sorry, I shouldn't do that.
UCI badge on there. Kid, your socks are too high.
Yeah. Did you see
you owe
him
me
on
2
the bus?
suckers and a bag of M&Ms.
Every day, or I'm going to steal your lunch money.
Did you see him on the bus when they were interviewing the
I
kid?
did.
That's so cute. Someday, you train hard.
Yeah. And he's going to race for Ineos later on.
You know what? Since we're rolling, since we're live anyway, I'm just going to get to this part anyway, since you guys brought it up. I haven't even mentioned a fucking sponsor yet, but I'm sick of that kid already.
What?
I'm fucking sick of it because every single social media outlet has just been like, the kid. Have you seen the kid? The kid.
They did that with the lady that crashed. What's his name?
Every fucking team is going to have some random kid in their advertising now.
They're gonna set up. It's gonna be a setup now.
It was a cute one-off thing, and now everybody's just going to milk it to death until it just dies.
Well, they did that with the lady in the sign. They milked it to death.
The Canadian crash.
No, the lady in the sign.
Yeah.
We talked about that for like 3 episodes.
Yeah, hello, Oma Opa, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She's saying hi to.
Well, the only thing is this is some kid's going to go, well, Jesus, what's going to keep me riding next to it? Yeah. Pretty soon you're going to have a pack of kids running. They're going to stack it and wipe out the
You're going to have Augustus Gloop, in Germany, riding his little, 3-wheeled e-bike.
Augustus Gloop?
Who? Augustus Gloop is the chubby kid from Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I know.
Look, Mommy, I can't keep up too. Why not get personalized tour on tour bus? I want it, Mom. Give me what I want.
Wow.
Hey, everybody. Before we begin, got to get Gooder, people. Gooder does it again and again. I love that we started that way. The best style, fit, comfort, and fun looks that you can get for the best price out there. No, really. Get over to Gooder.com today and check out all that you can put on your face. Yeah, I said that. Gooder Sunglasses, tell them Packfiller sent you. And Athletic Brewing people, award-winning craft masters of non-alcoholic brews. Want to have a post-ride beverage with just 70 calories and actual flavor? Trust me, Athletic is the place to start. Head over to the link on packfiller.com, and may I recommend the Run Wild IPA. Wow, no, 2 more reads. Wahoo Fitness people. You notice I put in people after every sponsor? That's just my new thing, I think. The time is here. Indoor maintenance, Zwift racing. Both of those probably make Paul depressed. Fall fondos and the
Season's over.
Yeah, and the best in fitness monitoring. Wahoo has what you need. Again, do us a favor. Head over to packfiller.com. Use the link. 1 click to get ready for winter. Finally, but not finally, Ambassador Cycling people. Fit is it. You need to be properly fitted. Trust me, it makes the entire world of difference. Knees, backs, necks, hamstrings, shoulders, and definitely ass. And balls. I should include balls in there.
Wrong sponsor.
That's true.
That's an older one.
Yeah. All will thank you for getting over to all the above. Yeah, all the injured areas will thank you to give over to ambassadorcycling.com today and booking an appointment with Bike Fix Sam. Trust me on this one. So there we go. I did it all. Let's do this.
Were you saying he fixed your balls?
Sam fixed my balls. Yeah. I mean, not directly. I'm thinking of so many things to say because Sam fixed my wife, too.
Oh, well, let's not go there.
He did. In a good way. Actually, that has a whole other connotation, too, doesn't it? Yeah.
Poor Jack.
There was some dead air there for a reason.
Hey, if you're watching our live stream, you're probably noticing some differences. I don't know what camera to shift to that doesn't look like some sort of a crack house. You're going to see a good deal more in the next couple weeks as it progresses. My wife is a budding interior decorating junkie. And I've been telling her for months to come down here and help me make this place more visually appealing. It honestly, I look at some of the videos back and I'm like, wow, it looks like a guy who has too much shit of a room. And so she's helped me with some ideas. And so over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be reinstalling new stuff. I've got some new cameras coming. We're going to be changing the way the video is shot when we're doing the live podcast. So you guys should probably wear makeup.
What about a urinal?
Well, that's up to you. I want you to look
I'm
at
an
the far
electrician,
end.
not a plumber.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. So you're going to have to help me. You guys are going to have to help me figure out where to put the urinal. But anyway, the studio is under a bit of construction, and the video stream is going to get some tweaks, as I said. So we're going off script and then back to script, and you, the listener, are going to be able to access it on multiple platforms, not just the YouTubes. So stay tuned, and please excuse our dust. However, the beer fridge still works, as do the microphones and the bar stools. It's time for bike talk. It's time for the Packfiller. In studio are the members of said Packfiller: the can-bees, the should-have-beens, the has-beens, and the why-bothers. I came up with that all.
Which one's which?
Yeah, there are 4.
I'm like the why bother.
You're already.
Why bother showing up to a cycling podcast?
First, everybody, he's the purest of the Packfiller. He's Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man? Usually
Purest?
one.
I would think the purest. Jackson to be the purest.
No, he's pure because he's been stuck. He's been not stuck. Oops.
I'm stuck.
He's pure in his ways.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm a minimalist.
Yeah. Well, you're the purest.
Yeah.
It's got to start with a P because
Okay.
Jackson,
I got
second,
it.
he's the
There you
potential of the Packfiller.
Oh,
He's
okay.
Mr. Jackson Bulger.
Hello.
Yeah. Third, he's the poser of the Packfiller. He's Mr. Jack Friday.
True.
You could say fuck.
I'm
you.
just saving energy this year.
Hey, I just want you to know,
That's it.
Jack, that was not the insult.
No.
Me-
That's coming. The insult's coming.
Yeah, me, I'm the Pudge of the Packfiller.
I knew you were going to say Pudge.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Got him predictable.
You're getting down to race weight.
Fuck. I am, but winter's starting. What are you looking at?
Your shirt.
Oh, it's an
bitchin'
ad.
shirt.
It's an ad for a magazine, so I can't really show it off. It's an ad for a cycling
You
magazine.
might get sponsored.
Yeah, but not until then. How the hell are you guys?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Busy.
Yeah.
Tired.
All right, night everybody.
Yeah.
That was the show. That was the podcast. Who's riding? Let's just get it
I'm
out
not.
of the way. Jack's not.
I moved, so I did not last week at all.
You haven't ridden since.
Since not obviously not last weekend, but the weekend before was the last time I rode. So
Okay.
yeah, moving into a new place takes a lot.
Paul,
I did Sunday.
you
by
did ride
myself,
Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, but
Yeah.
oh,
Went up Chuck, Charles Road.
no, no shit.
Yeah. Went up there.
Describe to the average listener who doesn't know where the fuck you're talking about.
It comes off of the Spokane River and gets on top of a plateau area, and it's
Steep.
it's probably 2 kilometers long, 12% gradient, and then we've had plenty of. There used to be a great Spokane River road race went up
Yeah.
when it was gravel
Gravel,
on top
yeah.
of that. So
So
wait a minute, we used to race on gravel.
I thought gravel was new.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. What? No, we did gravel first. Fuck off. Yeah. So
Yeah. So I did
did?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
50 some miles and
Don't shrug
and-
that off.
Well, I felt like crap, and
Yeah.
I couldn't complain on drinking. Like
At least
last
you were
weekend.
alone.
Yes, I was
So
alone.
you go like
Yeah.
12 miles per hour all
I
day
averaged
long.
18.7.
Holy shit! Even with Charles, you averaged
Yeah.
18 points. Oh fuck.
My legs were tired the next day. I don't know why.
Yeah. I took a week off last week to get some rest in, just because I was like, I every 5 or so weeks, 5-6 weeks, I like to go. Okay, I'm gonna just take a break. I'm gonna not ride. I was gonna help you move in, but you apparently didn't need my average back to help you move in. I mean, I was
It's
gonna
getting
do
old.
I was gonna do the chafe Fondo, but then I was like, no, don't be a dick. Help your son move in. And then the morning of the move, he's like, no, yeah, Dad, we're good. We got young people.
I'll just put it out there. It wasn't my fault.
Your preschool class.
You got 3,
Yeah.
3-4-year-olds. Come on, kid. You're crying.
Pull your mask over your nose. Yeah, exactly. So no, and then to fuel the tank for the Fondo this weekend, I was like, okay, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to kick it back into gear. And it appears that I must like rest, apparently, because I have not been on my bike since Labor Day.
What's your Whoop say?
My Whoop?
He's rested.
Yeah, my Whoop says, dude, fucking come on.
You're going the other direction.
Yeah.
You're too rested.
Actually, my Whoop is at the point now where, like today, in class, it registered a workout.
Yeah.
So this is the new norm.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I'm concerned or not for this weekend because it's not necessarily a race, right? But we actually have it this weekend. The Corte Fondo, which is 116 miles.
Yep.
What's the amount of climbing?
It's like 7,000 feet.
7,000 feet.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Over 113 miles. That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Sorry, Jack. You can chime in.
I can just tune out anytime.
Yeah, exactly. You can go figure out where to put the urinal.
Yeah.
Just piss.
Fine.
Wherever you piss.
Yeah,
that's
wherever
what
feels
we'll put.
most comfortable.
Yeah. Just like
Right here.
good.
Try this corner.
Urine
Try this
marks
corner.
the spot.
Oh, it's your washing machine. Thoughts on your preparation, gentlemen, for the fact that we've got 116 miles to do this weekend?
I feel pretty confident, a lot more confident than I did for BWR, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I think taking some time off has been good for me. As Jack mentioned, I've been running around with kids for the past couple of weeks, so that's a workout in and of itself. So I think it'll be good. After like 80 to 70 miles is when my body starts to hurt the most, so we'll see how that copes with it. But other than that, it'll be great.
Paul, you ready? Your preparation wise?
I know I can finish it because last year I wasn't really prepared, and I made it through with a crank arm in my hand.
That was last year?
No, actually it wasn't last time.
There was no
it.
COVID. Yeah, it was COVID last year, so it's 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I was, I'm not really looking forward to it too much, just because it's going to be piss and rain.
Yeah, that's what
we were supposed to get a quarter inch in that time period.
Oh, fuck.
Which, in a way, I kind of like it because then it puts you in that mood where it's that survival. I don't know. I just
You get a fender up.
No fenders. I want the grit of the road
In your teeth.
Yeah, and the sheep shit that's been on the road in my teeth, and get that Belgian toothpaste. That's the mucus you get in the grime. It's all over on your. That's why I want to.
Gross. Camera. By the way, the new camera system, I'm going to actually be able to sit here and zoom in on your individual faces, and I wish I could have had yours right there, Jackson, because he's like
looking at you like,
what the fuck?
Oh, you have a mouthful of
like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, the weather's supposed to be, well, it's, everything I'm looking at is saying rain in the morning, and then it's going to taper off.
Like about 2 o'clock when
I'm
done. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus. I'm, mind you, I haven't ridden in 8 days. That freaks me out a little bit, but honestly, the old Pat of, I don't know, 10 months ago wouldn't have been able to make it after riding 8 days. But the new Pat of
the old
6 weeks ago, yeah. I'm making shit up, but I'm a little concerned because I don't know why. I've been becoming more paranoid this year. How about COVID in Idaho? Has anybody got?
Is COVID even in Idaho?
It is not if you ask a
Yeah.
But
Actually, it made national news. They interviewed.
Because they're in a massive emergency mode, and so here we've got this event happening with the Delta variant. They're staggering the start. Apparently, they're setting it so you can start
from
anytime
8 to 8:30.
Yeah, you can just go, and they want you to stay the hell away from each other, which is good. Yeah. But the concept of an event and several events, Tour de Bloom. Yeah, several events have been canceled because of concerns such as that. If there's an accident out on the course, hospitals are full. Where do they send people? Things like that. Do you guys have any concerns at all about any of that kind of stuff? Jack, would you if you were doing the event? It's a bike race. People will actually go on bikes.
Yeah. No. describe. I think that that's something I didn't think about was like big pile up, 4 or 5 people going to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's already fairly full and active with, so
Yeah.
it's just another reason to cancel a race, but not in Idaho.
Yeah.
Or Montana, apparently, or...
Is Montana in the same boat?
I don't think that they're not canceling any races.
Yeah.
So,
guys, participants.
I think having a rolling start is a good idea, which means that we don't really have to be close with anybody besides the ones that we want to ride with. We're also going to be outside all day, so that's a big helper.
Yeah.
The aid stations are the only like real difficulty, but they seem to have a plan for it. So I'm just trusting the people putting it together that they're going to keep us safe, because that is kind of their job at this point.
Sure.
Apparently, it doesn't bother me because I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
So, I haven't even thought about it. I just want to ride my bike.
Why don't you skip the aid stations?
Well, you're not getting your
You got
money's
packs?
worth.
Oh, I know. There's
Don't you
good
think?
cookies, isn't there?
I think it's all going to be like prepackaged stuff. So who
It
knows?
is
It might be
all
like
prepackaged.
Granny's cookies.
Yeah.
Is it Grandma's cookies? Is that the?
I wish it was Granny Muffins.
Yeah. I miss them. They don't even make them anymore.
No.
You should know. You rode for them.
But they don't make them anymore. I don't think. I don't know.
Oh shit.
It's only been 20 years.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, keep up, man. So, Mike, how are we planning on riding this? I know that it's Jackson, Paul, Pat, and Scooter's doing it, right?
Possibly. I texted him I was going to give him my skin suit for the cross race tonight.
Oh yeah.
He says I've got a little bit of sniffle. I know it's only a cold, but in today's situation, now he's vaccinated, but you still, it's like we're just in a time period like, what do I do?
Yeah.
The best thing is not to. So he's going to monitor it. But if it's a cold and he's still kind of feeling crappy, in the pouring rain, may not be a good idea.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. What are we going to do? Pace-wise, ride-wise, tactic-wise?
Roll out at 8
apart?
o'clock and stay with the fastest guys there.
Really?
Just hang back. Yeah.
Roll at 8. So you think the fastest guys
should.
are going at 8
Oh,
on the
yeah.
dot?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, fast guys
All
don't
right.
start late. Sam, he's not fast. He's always late for the rides.
Oh! Pedro Delgado. He showed up late for.
I know.
TT.
Did he win that?
Nah, he
No,
didn't.
no.
That was
See?
who won that tour? Was that Roach?
No, that was Le Mans in 89.
Was that
Because he won 88.
Oh,
He
okay.
came back and you missed the prologue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Showed up late to his own time trial. Before I get to the news, I want to say that something's wrong. I've never been this motivated to ride, stay fit, and especially watch bike racing. And I have it been in a long time. I don't know about you guys. My new morning ritual these days is I get to work, I log on to GCN, and I watch whatever race they've been having on, either the replay or live if I happen to catch it in the morning. The Tour of Britain, Jack, you said it before we went on air. It's freaking brilliant.
It was great. I logged on about halfway through the race, though.
Yeah.
Is when I started watching it because of the last podcast. I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, there's a bike race.
Yeah.
So I forgot about GCN. To be quite honest.
Tour of Luxembourg, I'm watching it right now. Great racing so far. Really good kind of steep climbs and things like that. Did anybody see the Antwerp Port Epic?
Parts of it, I didn't get to watch it live, but
Yeah. I watched the replay too. Every surface imaginable. Jackson, you haven't had a chance to watch it.
No.
You and I were talking about this last night. You were like, no, I haven't watched it. I already know how everything went down.
Yeah.
So, kind of a true road gravel all over the place. Cobblestones is a cool race.
Yeah.
And they weren't on gravel bikes, Paul.
Nope.
They were on
No.
road bikes, which probably made you have. So, and this is where I was going to talk about the kid in the Tour of Britain, and and how great it is for the sport, and how everybody's all warm and fuzzy about it. And now I'm just like, that's great. Fucking stop now. Why am I such a prick?
Yeah.
Why am I such a prick for thinking this? Am I alone? Am I the only guy
you
at this
are.
console who's
You
like,
are.
they're going to milk the fuck out of this, and it's going to turn it into shit?
that's
It's
what the
good
media does
publicity.
with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll just milk it to. It's like pop
I'm the bad
music.
guy.
No, it's like pop music. They're just like, it's not a bad song, and then within a month you're like,
I hate
just,
that song.
oh God! If I hear it, I'm just going to stab.
But this
my
is
ears.
so good for kids in the sport.
Yeah,
There'll be 100 kids that.
But
become
apparently somebody
cyclists.
doesn't want kids in the sport.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, he's jealous.
Yeah, that's what it was. He's jealous.
Yeah, he wanted to be that kid.
He couldn't ride next to him and pull away.
Fucking feet on.
I should have been me.
I'm okay. Social media's just ruined good things for me.
Stay off of that.
Yeah, I can't. I'm addicted.
It's his crack.
It is. I like me the TikToks.
Yeah. I know. I'm scrolling through Instagram, and all of a sudden I'm on Reels, and which is, I guess, all TikToks, and it's like, God, I gotta get off the toilet. Man,
my legs are numb.
Yeah.
Honey, I got a turkey gobbler coming out of the butthole.
Pull me off the toilet.
Like Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh yeah, with the bomb.
Yeah, there's a bomb in the toilet.
You just had to sit there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jackson's like, fuck you guys are old.
haven't seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah. What a way to research the worlds and Paris-Roubaix, though, for me. I mean, like, right now, I'm just like, holy fuck, I might actually have a good pick. Wout's flying. We can all agree Wout van Aert is flying. Mathieu van der Poel is back and crushed that Antwerp race, right? Antwerp? Yeah. I threw that piece of paper away, so it's out of my mind. Alaphilippe is rounding out the trifecta of the I don't want to say three amigos, even though I just did, because they're not amigos. They're fucking three fuck youers, but they get along well after the race.
That new generation.
Yeah, I think that they realize how good a racing they create. I think it's actually kind of built their sort of like firepower against each other to create racing that other people can't hang with. I mean, they're just like,
But then you're watching stuff, But actually, let me ask this. Does anybody have any?
For all you young kids out there.
Yeah, for all you kids. Technically we're only a week away from the Worlds, and we're going to talk about the time trial here in a minute. But the road race is 2 weeks away. Does anybody have any pre-road race Worlds favorites? I think Wout is going to be watched too closely. I think João Almeida is riding really well. I think Magnus Cort Nielsen is super flying after the Vuelta. Mark Hirschi fucking crushed it today in Luxembourg. So, I mean, I even think Thibaut Pinot is back. And so, there I
Gave your names.
spent my
I don't know
charge
the course.
there.
I really don't know the course, so I
yeah.
can't
I don't know the course either.
typical World's course. Got a hard hill or two. And
Yeah. Anybody have any pre-Worlds?
It is going to be won
pre-Worlds?
by a classic person.
Yeah.
Remco is going to be there as
Can't believe I left
support.
him out. Yeah.
But did any of you guys see the European Championships with Ian?
I didn't watch it.
Oh,
I know that Sonny Cobrelli. That is my name to watch.
There's one to watch.
Yeah. Really?
Sonny Cobrelli, even in 2018 when I saw the I was in Belgium. Did I ever tell you I went to Belgium? Yeah.
What? Did you look at that?
So when I was there, the first guy over the mirror was Sonny Cobrelli.
Well,
The
the
guy
way he
can
rode
ride.
the way he rode the tour in the mountain stages for a
Yeah,
sprinter.
he can climb. So this is a classic kind of rolling and Flemish type.
I was going to say I think Sonny Cobrelli is a big name to watch, especially with the fact of how if he makes it in a select group, he'll outsprint the rest. As he's shown like the whole year how close he was to the green jersey. He's riding really well. And I also think that, and I'm thinking more and more about it, he won the gold medal, he rode the Vuelta, but he hung back the whole time. I think Tom Pidcock, if he rides the road Worlds, is a name to watch. because
You were saying that last night.
He's been at the front of all those type of races, but he's just never had the legs to kind of finish it off. But he's had a whole season under his belt. He's had some mountain bike, which is more punchy than a regular road race. So I think if he rides the Road Worlds, it could be interesting for him because he's not going to be watched necessarily.
I think he's in the same category as Remco. Of course, in the Worlds, there's no radio, and their lack of experience, because Remco only been racing a bike for 3 years. Mm-hmm. So when he's with Cambrelli towards the end, it's just like the kid just tried to just ride him off the wheel. There's no tactics.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Maybe he shot all his – well, you'd have to see the race, but you just think Cambrelli knew exactly what to do. He schooled him. And I think Pidcock, as strong as those two guys are, I think without having somebody in their ear to direct them.
Did Remco come from Zwift?
No. No, he was soccer. Wow. He just had numbers, and they...
Wow. They said you need to be on a bike or run a marathon.
Like his junior Worlds, when it was signed when he was 19, when he just turned 19, in the time trial, he beat everybody in the world by 3.5 minutes in the TT. In the road race, he crashed early, bridged up to the group. There was a breakaway, bridged up to the breakaway, and then punched.
That story.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the course, some sort of a course.
For the road?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in Belgium.
Oh. Yeah.
I've been there.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
A couple of times.
Doing, you moron.
I'm trying to find the course topography here. More about this race. Keep going, Jeff.
Part of me thinks it's going to be a classic Flandrian type of course. We're going to have a cobbled climb in there. I hope. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
Let's zoom in on this bad boy.
Now I got to put my.
Anybody see that shit from here?
Yeah. That's pretty jagged.
Look at that circuit.
There is a lot of bumps in that course.
See, I think the likes of Roglic and Pogačar could also be an amazing duo for this race. With the punchiness of those two type of riders, Pogačar's got a sprint on him for a climber. I think that with how jagged this course is, I think it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah. We're doing our World's Preview show way too early, but I just thought I'd bring that up just so we could at least start to kind of do some things.
It's just how excited you are.
Happening.
Get the juices flowing.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's not flat.
No. Should we analyze the U.S. team this far in advance? Because I don't know if we're going to be mentioning them again.
Yeah, might as well. We'll not get onto it next week.
Yeah.
Lawson Craddock, Matteo Jorgensen, who had a really good Tour of Britain. Was it? Yeah, it was Tour of Britain. Matteo Jorgensen had a Brandon McNulty, Nelson Powless.
Sepp is on or no?
No, I'm just gonna say his name. Quinn Simmons. I just think he's a douche. And Joey Roscoff. It took me a while to find the sound effect, as you guys could tell.
Sepp's not riding
Sepp's not riding. No. Sepp's not riding.
This is not his course.
Does anybody have any thoughts on any of those guys as we roll into the beginning of the Worlds?
I hope that they ride for Quinn Simmons. I think he's the only rider in that group that really has a chance. I think Lawson Craddock is going to be his main helper, and I think who was near the end with
Nelson Powell,
or with Carapaz at the end of the Olympic road race.
That was Lawson Craddock?
That was Joe Dombrowski.
Yeah.
Not there.
Yeah, which is surprising because he rode really well in Tokyo. Yeah, I think it's going to be Lawson Craddock and Quinn Simmons on his wheel, but I don't think there's a lot of other firepower there. I think Powless could go in a breakaway and maybe come back, but I don't know if I see a big hope there.
Yeah. So we shouldn't get
too
far into the Worlds. No. Is what I'm saying is I should shut up and get to the fucking news. What, should I? Shut up. Get to the news. Shut up and get to the news.
We didn't even talk about the TT.
We're going to get to the TT. Right. We're going to get to the TT. The headlines. Let the drama as well as the check writing commence, everybody. Delcoinic Quick-Step manager Patrick Lefevre has indicated that Mark Cavendish will not ride the Tour de France if he stays with the team next year. and has publicly suggested. Wow, that beer's delicious. that he is overestimating his value during contract negotiations. Reports of Lefebvre and Cavendish not seeing eye to eye on the terms of the new deal emerged earlier this week, and now Lefebvre has given an interview into the matter on a Belgian newspaper, and he said, quote, "I respect Mark Cavendish. We saved his skin. We gave him all the tools. He took the challenge and he did it, and now it begins. Now he thinks it's time to cash in again." End quote. Cavendish's career did indeed appear to be coming to a close at the end of 2020. We could all probably agree. After joining his former team on a low salary funded by a personal sponsor, he has enjoyed remarkable resurgence, winning 4 stages in the Tour de France. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, is Cav truly worth it? Is there something to invest in Mark Cavendish if you are a Patrick Lefebvre, or even more so if you're another team?
Year by year.
Yeah.
1 year deal. Because he's getting old.
And that's what's on the table is 1 year. If I play, I don't want to be like Patrick Lefebvre.
Yeah.
But, with the budget and the way he runs a team, I mean, he draws the line in the sand and he says, this is it. I mean, we're not going to cross that. So you can't argue with his success. Maybe his mouth everybody has a problem with, but I mean, he knows how to pick winners and he knows how to put a team together that functions together. And when somebody wants to leave, he doesn't try and keep them. He's like, no, I don't want that. If you don't want to be here, fine. So can't argue his method. So I don't know. If I was another team and thought, wow, we could use some exposure, yeah. And personally, again, I'm going to say I don't know the way he performed. I like the way he raced in the Tour of Britain. He was in breakaways and he mixed it up. But boy, when the guys really lit it up, he wasn't. I think he got 3rd or 4th. He usually shuts down if he knows he's not going to win. He doesn't really push it. So I don't know.
I think age is a big thing on the mind of the DS of Taquina Quickstep right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty fair. I think the other issue is, though, who's their other option? They have Fabio Jakobsen, but is he really going to win a Caleb Ewan type of sprint? That's the thing that worries me.
That's some of the things that they've been kind of mentioning, is that Lefebvre was saying that he thinks that Jakobsen is the sprinter to take to that level.
Which I would love to see, especially it'd be a good fairy tale story with his comeback and everything.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of eggs to put in one basket right now. And I think that part of me also wonders if they saw how he raced in Britain and went, oh, wow, he does need the best lead out in the world to win. Because if you think about it, in France, he got the best lead out in the world to win. Does it on his own, he's not there.
Yeah.
So I kind of get the mindset of Lefebvre, but I don't know. It's difficult decision to make, but he's definitely. I could imagine he's asking for a lot of money right now.
That being said, though, if he's determined to come back and beat Merckx's record and set that to his record, then he has to. And Lefebvre said no to the Tour. I'd leave. You're not going to the Tour? Well, you're done, and you're not going to get the record.
Is the record something a team director would
That's an individual.
From?
I think it's an individual. Feather in your hat, not like, hey, we were. Because I mean, look how many some of these teams. Yeah, the Roubaix with Quickstep. I mean, I don't think that they look at these legacies of that level of rider, the guys that have won it a couple times, but they don't. It's not like we are the team that wins this.
Yeah,
So.
Well, I think in a way, if you're gonna hire him for that last win as a sponsor, I mean that's going to be the picture that
it'll be
for
all over the media.
years.
Yeah.
You know, record, and then you'll see the sponsor. So I mean, there's a value there.
So it might be the sponsor versus him.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Going, hey, you Specialize. Can you imagine? I mean, look,
like
you know, hey, we got.
But the other
Eddie
thing
Merckx's
is
record.
the other thing is what direction. Maybe de Koenig's not really looking just to win sprints. They got Remco there trying to get a stage racer.
Yeah.
You know, they've got Jakob.
Fabio
Jakobsen.
Yeah.
They got him as a sprinter to fill in those blanks, but I think they're gearing towards a little more, well, let's try to conquer something else. And maybe spending a lot of money on one guy to get one win is just not worth it. So,
first question is Lefebvre. He is a Facebook friend of mine. I just want to say that, and I'm trying to get him on the show.
Watch what you say, because you might want to interview him sometime.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm posing the question. That's why I'm posing the question.
Leave it to me to be the asshole.
That's why
we'll talk about Eddie Merckx.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I step away from a lot of these things, and I just post questions to you guys. Yeah. Is he kind of a dick? Number one, and number two, do you have to kind of be a little bit of a dick in order to be a director sportif for a major fucking world tour team?
Yeah, first thing
I love that you all gave us visual responses on an audio
eccentric
podcast.
people.
Well, I can guarantee that Mark Cavendish will go to the tour next year. At this point, it's like, oh, he'll say that he won't, but how motivated is that going to get Cav to go train his
ass off?
Train his ass off to get to the tour. Like he'll probably go to the tour now. That's the thing.
But he's in contract negotiations.
Yeah, it's whether he stays on the team or not. But it's like I feel like he's kind of bluffing a little bit to get Cav to just work hard. Because really, like we were saying, the sponsorship deal that breaking Eddie Merckx's record will bring to that team is, I don't know, it's a pretty big deal, I think.
Well, I think Lefebvre is a complicated person. I've heard interviews from several guys who race for him, and he's very impersonal, and he gets all business. He doesn't want to get to know you or anything. And I wonder some of his comments, because he has a column in Hit Nieuwsblad, the newspaper, the Belgian newspaper, and that's where he burps out all these things. And he was very upset at Sam Bennett.
Just a bit.
Yeah, for even like I can't race, oh no, and then he shows up on the Irish team for the European Championships.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh God, here we go. And then all of a sudden, Lefebvre, without saying anything, he's on the start list on this week.
Yeah.
So I think he has a tendency to use his voice to motivate people or create, well, that's part of the exposure of your sponsor. Even bad,
create nervousness or motivation.
So the drama.
It's
so he plays head games with his riders, is what you're saying.
I don't know if maybe behind the screen, I don't know what he does. But one rider said that once he left the team, he saw him at some kind of sports gathering, and Lefebvre actually came up to him, and he's like, "Hey, how are the wife and kids?" And he goes, "Jesus, man, when I was with you, you didn't even know. I didn't think you knew I was married or had kids or anything, because I knew all that." And he goes, "Well, why didn't you even ask?" And he goes, "I got to separate my personal from business because when it comes to winning, I can't let the personal affect the business."
Wow. So you kind of do. I mean, I hear stories of Jonathan Botters being kind of a
eccentric.
Dick. Yeah. And I don't know a whole lot of the other major team directors, but Paul Koshley from the old days of La Vie Claire, he's pretty close to walking around his house wearing Kleenex boxes on his feet. I think he's bizarre, and Lefebvre, he's in the driver's seat, man. Mm-hmm. He's got his sponsors secured through 2027. Mm-hmm. It's going not to be DeCoin Quick Step. It's going to be Quick Step Alpha Vinyl. Mm-hmm. So
they're all about the flooring.
It is. And there's apparently a lot of money in that shit.
Quick Step products all the time.
Mapai.
You never have, really?
Well,
on tile
over here,
tile and
over here in America.
Yeah.
You that shit.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yep.
God damn. I'll be goddamn.
Leave it to Lowe's.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I asked you guys. I doubt any of you guys did your homework. That's why I brought it up on the big screen.
We had homework
in terms of transfer news. Has anybody been paying attention to any of the top transfers that are happening this year? I'm looking at our friends at Cycling News, who've included every team and what they've done, and we've got from the top, we can look at, Vlasov going to Bora.
Big pickup for them.
Big pickup.
Oh, he's out. They don't have like Fogasang is leaving Astana.
Yeah.
Where's he going?
That hasn't been determined.
No.
That's probably why it's not on there where they know where he's
going. As of yet. Bora Hansgrohe, major things happening in Bora Hansgrohe. Sam Bennett coming in. Jai Hindley. Higita from EF Nipo.
That's a weird
Jesus.
one, I think.
Yeah. They want to win the tour.
Yeah.
They really want to win the tour.
Lost Sagan, Bodnar, Danielos. Of course you're going to learn those guys. All going to Total Energy. Pascal Ackermann,
who's not had a good year.
No.
Yeah.
But I think with UAE he could have an even better year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Christophe Laporte is leaving Cofidis. We could go through this whole list, and I'll just kind of slowly do it here for you guys. But where could you imagine Mark Cavendish ending up if he were to leave this team? I mean, we got John Dagnan,
movie star.
Just kidding.
That wants to be on Netflix.
Yeah. I was wondering if, first thing popped into my head. Lotto
or DSM?
No, he can't go to Lotto. Caleb Ewan.
Yeah.
Lotto.
I think he could go to the place where cyclists die is Israel Startup Nation. Israel Startup Nation.
Oh, yeah, okay. Israel Startup Nation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. Who's? Because Chris Greipel's leading.
The oldest average age in the World Tour.
Are they?
And they'll probably keep it that way.
Dan Martin is jumping ship.
Yeah, no, he's retired.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I feel like they're the MLS of World Tour cycling.
Yeah. Tony Gallopin coming to Trek Segafredo. It's time to go to the Trek Segafredo.
Keep on working out there, boys. Hey, you boys, best keep sweating
Best keep transferring to Trek Segafredo. Alexander Kristoff is leaving UAE Team Emirates. I can't remember where he's going. There was a...
Who is it? Who did you say?
Kristoff. Is he going to DSM? There we go. No, he's not going to DSM. Yeah, I know he's...
the UAE...
I thought it was a smaller team like want to go into Marseille.
Yeah.
I think.
I will say the UAE team is going to be insane next year. With the pickups that they got.
Now you got to manage. The problem is when you get I always use the Lakers when they had Moses Malone and all these guys in there that
Jack, 5 stars. Yeah, 5 stars.
And they didn't win the championship because they're bickering.
With the transfer of Peter Sagan to Total Energy, I remember. Well, one of my cameras. I lost one of the cameras. That one just went dark.
I thought
we got that one now.
Pacemaker.
It was. We just got this guy now. The funny thing is, we got the oldest camera in the house right now going. And that's the only one left. Yeah. With Sagan switching to Total Energy, do you remember when he switched to Bora? Mm-hmm. Did you think that was a step down?
It was a smaller team at the time. Yeah.
Yep.
His UCI points brought him up.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm wondering if there's some birth coming into this, in terms of what of a kind of a potential that could grow for that team. Retirements of riders, including Andre Greipel, Dan Martin. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask the question. Should Froome be one of them?
I was just going to say.
Should Cav have been one of them?
Cav should not. No, he had too great a year. Chris Froome did not.
I know
they're different riders, but
I don't think I see. I don't know. I see Froome just kind of being in the pack now.
He should go to gravel.
For fucking crush.
Yeah,
you think he'd suck?
I think it'd be awful.
Wasn't he a mountain biker?
Yes, he was. Big time.
I just think now he
Now he's
does
just
not
too
have
frail.
exactly.
He's gonna break his little bird bones.
That's right.
Those little chicken wings. Yeah, first Nepo gaining Odd Christian Eiking looks like a great move on paper.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know of him very well before Spain. But wow.
Love him.
Christoph's going to Intermarché wanting to go there.
That's right.
Yeah. So that could be an interesting addition. Who else is? I mean, I'm not seeing any gigantic names that are being added there, but they lost Odd Christian Eiking, so there we go. Any other changes you guys think that are coming to mind? Do you think any of these are bargains of the century that somebody's going cheap? Speaking of the old riders, are they going cheap? Or the young riders, are they going cheap, or are they all just going prices up?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Man, Taco Vanderhorn, what a
He's
name.
cool.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
He got second.
Lars Boom, they got
against-
some good names.
Yeah.
Why
He was
can't we
second
have
with
Odd Christian
Vanderpool.
Anger?
Yeah, right on Vanderpool,
Yeah.
down to the sprint in Antwerp.
Why can't we name our kids Odd Christian?
Odd Christian and Taco.
And Taco and Lars.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. I'll tell you what, Taco Vanderhorn, biggest hands on a pro cyclist. Christ, they're gigantic.
You know what that means?
Yeah. Big
Big
hands,
gloves.
big feet.
Big gloves.
Yep.
Oh.
Big gloves.
Big feet. Big feet. Yeah.
Cold fingers.
Yep.
Is that what you say, Paul?
Yeah.
You have a big dick?
No.
Oh shit! Sorry, I just I ran away from it there. Okay, guys, let's switch gears to the World Championships TT this weekend. Is there anyone that can top Filippo Ganna
Yep.
and Anna van der Breggen?
Nope. On the
That
second.
was a trick question.
Yeah.
Because Anna van der Breggen
She
is
won't be
not
right.
actually racing this weekend.
That's right.
Is there anybody that can beat Filippo Ganna?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that would be Stefan Kuhn.
Yep.
He's beat him.
Think so?
Yeah, he's beat him in a couple of them.
I think
So
it's
far.
I think it's between Kung to beat Filippo Ganna or Remco if he races.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He and Van Aert are doing the TT.
Yeah. Van Aert could be someone to watch, and Roglic after his
Yeah.
Olympic.
It is
Victory.
pan flat.
Would it be crazy if Roglic won both the worlds and the gold? He'd be like gold bike and world jersey and
Yeah, his kit would be just like, well, Roglic is never going to apparently ride in his team kit for the remainder of his career.
yeah.
He's not doing the TT.
He's not.
He isn't.
No.
Wow, he's putting it all in for that.
Pogacar has got his spot.
Ghana is not riding the road race.
No.
He's
That's
just
not
riding the
surprising.
TT.
The TT is pan flat next to like windy by the ocean coastal.
Which is
Um,
hilly.
No,
If it's a
actually-
headwind, I mean,
Yeah,
if it's a
it's just
headwind,
like a
it's
hill.
hilly, you know.
But his wins are always on short TTs because he's kind of a track rider. Well, kind of. He is a track
Yeah.
rider. So,
Fast
Kuhn
rider.
can. Those guys are doing. I can't remember how far is it? 50 some K? Is it?
Do you want me to bring it up?
40? Maybe it's 45K or
I
something.
appreciate your new.
The monitor.
Visual we got.
Yeah, I finally. Well, it was behind your guys' heads for so long, and
But we never really opened it up.
I
much.
just watched porn on it.
You brought up.
Wait. Damn it!
Bike racing.
Yeah.
Jackson
Seahawks.
brought up Remco.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting about him, he's a great TT, but he's terrible on Zwift. And a lot of people say, well, it was actually Warbass that said, because it doesn't make sense because I've ridden where he's ridden me off his wheel. I just thought I can't stay with it. And then on Zwift, he's just like he gets popped all the time. But his
It's
position
boredom.
is so
It's complete.
he's
boredom.
like your old teammate. You know who I'm talking about? Kirk Willett.
Oh.
They're they're about
Oh,
this
yeah,
tall.
you can't possibly
You
get
can't.
low enough.
They're in a 50 centimeter frame,
yeah.
and he's flat back.
49 centimeter, I think,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
is probably.
And his stem slammed all the way down.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Pissed me
But-
off all the time.
Oh, I
Hey,
got
he's a
stuck
really good
behind
s-
him once. I did not.
Hey, he's a really good sprinter. Well, no shit, he's a really good sprinter. He's drafted off my hubs.
And the birds that
His
are coming
coefficient
by.
rate.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's Remco. That's part of his advantage that
Yeah.
he's a low rider, and if there's winds, there's a good chance.
How about the women? I'm just going to go for it and just say Annemiek van Vleuten is going to.
It depends who also the Dutch
Who's
are going to
starting?
pick. What's
Yeah.
her name? Van Dijk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could be a potential. She's been riding well.
Honesty time, gentlemen.
Haven't been that in a while.
I know Paul's answer, but
What?
do you guys watch the World Championships time trials?
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
He knew my
got it
answer.
from Paul.
Yeah.
it's been a couple of years, but I mean, I
You
have
will?
recently.
Like, you will.
In 2 years, I will.
You will.
If
It's on
I'm
Sunday.
If
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
This Sunday.
I've got some.
It'll probably be
free time.
raining. What
I'll
else are
be,
you
I'll
gonna
be
do?
working in my garage. I
Yeah.
gotta clean up after the. I gotta clean up.
I'm not going to do shit on Sunday after
You're
this.
supposed to be
No.
riding. No.
Yeah. Jackson, are you going to watch the TT or are you going to just... Yeah.
No way in hell.
Fuck no.
Highlights. The highlights.
Yeah, I'll watch the GCN highlights.
Yeah.
That's way more entertaining, I
Yeah.
find. But like, I think it's a beauty and something that I can't do very well. But it's boring as hell to watch, depending on the time trial. The 2020 second to last stage of the tour was the most entertaining time trial I've ever seen in my life, and probably
Yeah.
the last one I'll ever watch. In my life.
I'll
Vuelta's
probably
final
watch.
time trial was good.
Yeah.
The Vuelta was. I thought
didn't
it was an
watch any of the
amazing race.
Yeah,
I
Jesus.
watched. I knew you. I listened to you.
Yeah.
saying, yeah, just not into the Vuelta, but I loved the Vuelta, and I was kind of disappointed we didn't talk about the Vuelta last week.
Well, you should have been here over the
I
last
was.
6 weeks,
I was
Jack.
here
Before
last
that,
week.
6
But
weeks
we didn't talk
before
about the
that.
final. I mean, go ahead. Move on.
Let's get to the topic of the show, shall we? Brought to you by our friends at Scratch Labs and competitive cyclists, you guys. Getting the best hydration, fueling advice, and even recipes. Trust me, Scratch Labs is the shit. And Competitive Cyclists offers everything you can't find at your LBS. Whenever possible, shop local. They don't ask me to say that. I'm saying that. And I'm probably going to lose their sponsorship because of it. But you know what? Shop fucking local first. When you're stuck, hit Competitive Cyclist. Use the link on Packfiller.com to support the show. I want to talk to you guys about snobbery. I want to talk to you about elitism.
What are you looking at me for?
Yeah.
I'm temporarily
Nose
lost my vision. I want to talk to you guys about how cyclists just can't seem to get along with each other, with people from different disciplines, with cars, with potentially friends and family. We can all probably reflect on moments where we've just been like, you just don't fucking understand. You don't understand me. I'm going to go in my room. Fuck you.
It's like what's his name on South Park?
Eric Cartman? Screw you guys! I'm going home.
Yes.
We're a difficult bunch to understand. I think we'd all probably agree. And I don't think we make it very easy. I think part of it is our fault. Not all of it, though. Fuck no. It's everybody else's fault, but I'll take a little blame. Let's talk about what makes us a difficult bunch to understand. So, first question. Are cyclists different? And if so, how? I mean, and when I mean different from like normal people, normal endurance athletes, or anything like that. How are we special?
Yeah, I think that we are this is going to just sound elitist coming out, but it's like, I would say that I feel like we're the harder crew of the endurance athletes, meaning that like we will ride for 131, 200 miles in rain, grit, dirt, kind of stuff. That's how I always have seen it, and the fact that we will always come back for more
and find pleasure in it.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's why I think we are the harder crew, but also kind of one of the crazier, because we are willing to not only do that, but then willing to get off, love it, and then work on our bikes for like months on end just to get ready for the exact same experience.
I'm not saying anything because I agree completely.
Well, I agree. I think that's a part of it, but I think if you're involved with any, like runners, I think these guys are weird, and I think triathletes are weird.
Yeah, that's what
But I think what makes you maybe appear cyclists being a elitist is because when you meet another cyclist, when you didn't know they were, you've got this bond, like, no one understands because they understand. Yeah, because I have a wife and an ex-wife that don't understand what we're doing even right now. It's just like, seriously, you're going to talk about bikes for an hour and a half? Oh, If people didn't get bored, we'd be going till midnight.
Or if dinner didn't come up, get in the way.
You got to take a dump. There's no urinal.
You don't dump in the urinal.
Men tend to dump in a urinal. There's one urinal that has dump in it.
Yeah.
Every time.
Really?
Sorry to get off.
Where are you fucking hanging out, man?
Portland. Public bathroom.
Portland.
Yeah, seriously.
I've never seen shit in a urinal.
So,
well, you haven't been around enough.
There was a comma after take a dump.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. So we have a tendency to, and here's an example. I was doing an inspection just 2 days ago, and this lady, they just moved from Eugene, Oregon, and she sees me coming up, and she takes this mountain bike, a 29er mountain bike wheel, and puts it on the porch and stuff. And I looked, and she didn't look like a cyclist. Yes, it's a judgment.
Yeah,
She's
no,
not,
yeah,
she's a different body shape.
But you had
you'd
to
see.
ask about it.
No, I saw her husband who was sitting there, and he looked like in shape. And I said, "You a mountain biker?" And he goes, "Yeah, I ride road too." Oh, yeah. And he goes, "Do you mountain bike?" And I said, "Fuck no." No, I didn't say that. I wouldn't touch that. Do I look like eat shit, you fuck? Yeah. So
This is over. Fail.
but it's like, then the next thing you know, we're just, he's following me around. We're
An
just talking
hour
bike.
later,
Yeah. And
you're
it's like, I got to go
late
to my
for
next.
3.
Yeah. And that's that bond, the thing is, but yeah, it's just a strange little sport. It's unique.
It's a quirky club
It
that
is.
you on all levels would. If you saw somebody like, okay, so today I was leaving a job, and this dad and his son, they had a cross bike in the back of their truck, and obviously they're heading to the cross race tonight. And we're just like next to each other.
Dad, I don't want it. You're gonna fucking do it.
Okay, don't recreate this. Anyway, but I'm like checking out his bike. I'm going fast or slow. I'm thinking, should I roll down the window?
We're stalking this father and son. Keep your head down, son. I don't want to die, father.
The guy
He's a pedo.
He's a pedo.
The guy with
checking you.
the ladder in the back of his truck. He's after us. And but you track down this like this club you're a part of.
Yeah.
And so on the positive, I will strike up conversations with complete strangers with no like fear of rejection to talk about bikes or whatever the passion is.
Yeah.
And it's usually the extremes. You're not going to talk about NASCAR. If a guy's wearing a fucking jacket that has NASCAR and Checkerado and all that shit on it, I don't go up and talk to him about it.
You asked for a chew, though.
I don't. I don't even.
Yeah, I mean, a guy with a NASCAR, he's going to have a chew.
But if he had a sticker on his car, or if he had a certain T-shirt, I'd be like, hey, what are you into?
That is a lot of. That's a fucking rabbit hole right there.
Are we talking meth?
Swap
Man, stop.
What is it about that the sport that creates? Well, actually, let me ask you this: does the sport require selfish behavior?
Absolutely.
Every sport requires selfish behavior.
Everyone
At an elite level. At an elite level.
Yeah,
okay. Sure. Yeah.
As someone who reached, I would, not to toot my own horn here, an elite level of or an almost elite level of another sport. Sure, it's pretty selfish. You spend a lot of time with a lot of other people that aren't your family.
It's time.
Yeah,
time.
Sure.
How many hours a week would you spend on your bike if you could, and ignore everybody else?
I think road racing really lends itself to it because you're away from your significant other or family for at least 4 hours on the weekend.
16 hours a week.
The only other sport I know that's like that's also obsessive is golf because you're out, and there's always drinking involved.
That's a game.
Yeah, but still, it kind of lends itself time-consuming things.
It's like croquet.
Like you play a match, a soccer match or something.
Yeah.
An hour and a half, 2 hours later, you're back.
Yeah.
Cycling.
Same with the run.
When you're done after 4 hours, are you going to rake the leaves?
No, I'm going to fucking take a nap.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
2 beers and a nap.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
2 beers.
That's my T-shirt I got to make. 2 beers and a nap.
What is the cyclist or some things that you obsess over that people just don't understand?
Like everything,
Tech.
But like, tech something I really get into. and it's just something that's like always on my mind. It's something that I know that people won't really necessarily understand. But it's just something when there's nothing going on. For instance, when there's nap time at my work. Not for the adults. Not for the adults.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Lay on the mat.
Don't tell me you got a hard job. I miss nap time.
He's an accountant.
But when there's that, it's just like I'll think about bikes or I'll think about something like that. Like people don't understand that I could literally, and I'm using this term in a literal sense.
Not like a 20-year-old.
Yes, I could literally talk about bikes all day, every day. That's something I know people don't get, and I think I admitted this on a previous podcast, but I have a fairly obsessive behavior, I obsess very heavily over things, and people won't probably ever understand how much I could obsess on over this.
Well, like last night at dinner, it was my wife's birthday.
Yeah,
and Jackson, of course, came over because it was his mother's birthday. And we found ourselves talking about
that together.
We're related. We're related.
And we found ourselves talking about electronic shifting.
And I'm sure
of course,
and
your wife says, electronic shifting.
She's probably wondering why she didn't
my mother and my wife's mother were both there, and they were just like going, "What?" And we ended up talking at length, about electronic shifting. And I don't want to. This is where the point where I don't want to sound elitist, because I also don't want to. We had to dumb it down to talk to somebody who didn't know the sport. And I'm not calling the people I'm talking to dumb. My mother's not dumb. But we had to describe it in detail to them. And are there moments where you just like, you kind of get tired of re-describing something to somebody? Is this me? Am I the only one who's just like, this the kid?
You're impatient.
Fuck the kid. I don't want to explain electronic shifting to you.
Dude, I've explained this to 20 people. I'm done.
What's your podcast about? Cycling. Oh, I like biking.
Yeah.
I mean, are these something? There are a lot of things about the sport that I am passionate about that other people don't understand, and I hate that other people don't understand. When people call it biking, it fucking pisses me off. But I don't say that to them. I'm just like,
so you're not a biker?
Yeah.
So what makes it cool is it's the type of sport that is very special, and 90% of the population is not going to relate to your special sport, and that's what you need to
bullshit.
You can give
football. Everybody pretends they understand.
That's right. But you give them your 5 minutes and go, I race bikes, and just throw out some names, Lance.
No,
I know, but
that's the name.
But I'm saying, so that's what everybody can relate to. Yeah. So I've literally said, Lance Armstrong style.
Yeah.
2 people, so they immediately get it, and I can shorten my story immediately. Like, they just all of a sudden get it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try to change them.
No.
That's what's cool about it, is it's like being a connoisseur of a certain thing, Datsun 510 or a Land Rover. Or
Datsun 510.
I'm just telling you.
Cars.
No.
Really?
Do you want to hear about it?
No. I could go on and on. I mean, I'm Facebook friends.
You used to have one.
I've had 3 of them.
You dumb
But
bastard.
I know. I regret it now. But no, so when the cool thing about it is that people don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing about it is 90% of the population don't give a fuck about it. That's what makes it cool. If everybody liked it, it would be pop music. It'd be football, it'd be NASCAR.
But there's no point in time.
And I wouldn't be into it. I'd be gone. I'd be in roller skate racing or something.
But there's no point in time where, let's say, for example, you're watching a stage of the tour, and it's a huge mountain stage, and you're sitting there staring at the TV, and somebody comes up to you and asks you to start explaining.
Nobody in my house ever.
Hypothetical situation.
I don't surround myself with that type.
I would say this is the worst race to explain bike racing is Tour de France.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Get them on a one-day classic. And that's what I
But
think
even
that's
if
what
they
it
watch Roubaix, they'd be like, what the
fuck? So there's nothing that pisses you off about other people's ideas or knowledge or lack of knowledge or assumptions about. For example, you say you're going to go ride 116 miles this weekend, and they look at you and they say,
"You're insane."
All at once?
Yeah. But doesn't
your butt hurt?
Think how cool you look, though.
It makes it should make you feel better.
No,
about
I'm tired of this shit.
About being a part of such a cool micro social cosm that no one else is a part of. I've never attracted myself to anything popular. I love the Seahawks. Okay, whatever.
Your problem.
That's my weird addiction. But no, really. I mean, I love rally racing. I love ultra running. I love cross country ski racing, and I love
like watching
biathlon. I don't even fucking
awesome.
I love biathlon.
Yeah.
But so the weirdest
sport. Just like, fuck. I should go back to Portland and where they shit
that is what my attraction to. I love F1 racing, and every indie guy doesn't get F1 racing, or every NASCAR guy doesn't get F1 racing.
That's because you're only supposed to turn left.
That is why
turn left.
You're forgetting that.
What am I going to do next, Coach?
Interests you.
You're going to turn left.
You're going to have to give up and explain shit at the Christmas party.
Stop,
that you don't
get some gas, and turn left. But okay, sorry. I asked the question.
When they pull in the pit at NASCAR, when they pull into the pit at NASCAR, I'm immediately a judge. I'm like, well, fuck, F1 can do it like
6 cars 3 seconds. In and out. Yeah,
yeah. But other than that, I couldn't give a shit. And Dale Hurt.
Hey. Don't you dare cross that line. Number 3 forever.
I know. Well, he had a great Daytona.
He's our Pantani.
But
he is their Pantani.
He is.
Yeah,
he is.
Well, getting back to
Jackson's like, who?
I'm trying to get out of the weeds here.
I know.
I'm trying to get out of the weeds.
No, we're driving.
How many minutes are we into this?
We're okay.
Okay.
So, to me, it's when I first got into it, was just something I wanted to get into. I knew that nobody around really understood it. I just wanted to race my bike. Then there was a period where, when Greg LeMond started getting popular.
Yeah.
Then it became kind of like like indie music, that type of thing. They're like, oh, tell me, this is cool.
You're like, I knew before he was signed.
And then mountain bikes came and killed it all. And so then you're just
disc brakes for a minute till Lance showed up, right?
Well, that was actually
the new. He brought it back. I mean,
we thought he was the Messiah, but he was a Judas.
Yep.
And so anyway, it's just these things in waves. Now I just do it for my sake. If somebody asks me about it, I don't have like tons of stuff that say I'm a cyclist. I don't have stickers on my car. I don't do anything like that.
You're not wearing a cycling hat flipped up.
Occasionally I wear a Packfiller shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
You don't have one?
I do.
But it's one of these things. But the thing that used to drive me nuts is when somebody clues in that I ride bikes.
Yeah.
And like how can you stay in shape at that, shaving legs? And then, while I race bikes, and they're like, I have a friend who's a racer, maybe you know. Yeah. And they're like, say this name, and it's like, I know everybody in Spokane. Well, he did that Seattle to Portland.
Yep, that's it.
And then it's like, then you don't want to sound like an arrogant bastard. Yeah. It's like, that is a big challenge, and I would never do that in one day.
To be quite honest, that is, living on the west side of the state, that is the one race. The one ride that I've never done and that everybody asks me about.
Absolutely.
And it pains me to actually explain that it's just not what I do.
Same.
What I've done.
They can't separate it.
It is the one thing. It's like a Fondo.
So you're saying you get a little annoyed.
At that point, I have to work my inner strengths to tighten my stomach muscles and explain the difference. But that's the nicest way possible.
That's when I was young. Now it's like, it doesn't bother me. I understand.
Yeah.
You've given up, man.
No, I'm old. It's not worth the fight. My jagged edges are rounded by the river of life.
Yep.
Jackson, being a youngster, that's such an insult to call somebody young. You're just a youngster. Actually, it's not an insult. We're all jealous. You're probably just
I'm young.
We are all jealous.
It is what it is.
Combined ages of 165 years old.
Yeah, and that the average age of cycling is old. How do you deal with anybody asking you just the same old questions, or my next question is going to be, are there stereotypes about cyclists that you run into, and if so, are any of them true from people who don't straddle a top tube and ride bikes?
To answer the first question, I've said this a couple times, but I'm not too big of a talker when it's in like a big group, especially like, for instance, on like Thursday night, like the Thursday night TNT rides. Nobody really comes up to me, just because I am like, it's not that I'm unapproachable. It's just that I don't really say anything if I don't need to say anything. So I don't get a lot of like people coming up to me. I am also like, I don't know, I'm bumping shoulders with the fast guys right now, so a lot of them don't find the need to say a lot of things to me, just because I find that there are a lot of assumptions made about when you're in that kind of group. Not to sound elitist, funnily enough. But I always try and find myself being like, try to be the relaxed guy, and I think that's why I am so quiet, is because it's just like I'm more focused on the race rather than I am the ego game of it all. But I do hear a couple things here and there that I'm like, oh, I can tell that you're one of those cyclists that acts and thinks that they are the best all the time, every day when they go into their day job. And
really?
I hear it every once in a while, But it's.
I've never heard that.
Well, I just hear I can hear it in the just in the way they talk to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I can kind of tell the type just by the way they speak to other people sometimes.
Dickheads.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the stereotypes, it's like, I guess I try to present myself as like, oh yeah, I ride my bike, but like I don't tell them the type that I do at first. I just say like I'm a cyclist, and that's it. Maybe the use of the term cyclist could come across as something rather than another. But yeah, I don't face a lot of stereotypes. The only time I do is when it's driver and rider incidents. That's about it. But that's more road rage backed rather than it is true personality, I think.
And that's kind of where I'm leaning, is a lot of drivers immediately just create, oh, you're one of them spandex fucks, or something like that. And I'm, I use this silly dialect to kind of make a joke out of it, but there are those stereotypes and those cliches that people automatically pigeonhole you in, and I don't yell at people. You guys might think when the mics are off that I just walk around going screaming at everybody, but I'm not. I'm just I hold it in and I create ulcers.
So the one thing that in what Jackson was saying is, when you're explaining kind of what you do, who you are, with cycling and a couple other a couple other endurance sports that are, more difficult, I think people identify
there
themselves.
There are no other sports that are more difficult.
Or as difficult. But
yes.
You're right. Cycling is one of the most difficult sports in the world.
Yeah.
They're the most. Anyway, but most cyclists that are just die-hard cyclists, that whether they've skipped a few years or not, it's in their blood, they will describe themselves as that. Like, if somebody asked you, who are you? One of the first things you say is, well, I love most cycling.
Most people say what they do for
this.
For a living.
I would like that. That would be like, third on my list. But cycling would be like right at the top of who you are, and I think it presents a persona of, like, if you were to define what a cyclist is, and especially an endurance cycling racing cyclist, tough, everything we've described with, Belgian toothpaste, and so, I mean, it gets you to if you were to Urban Dictionary, a cyclist or bike racer,
Yeah.
then that's what you want to be defined as. And then, and I'm an electrician, or I'm a, teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, that I would rather be known as a cyclist than an electrician.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you have against being an electrician, Jack?
Well, I don't have anything.
It's good.
The problem is everybody goes, "Oh, do you do side jobs?"
Next thing you know, you're in.
Yeah.
But
You're in their crawl space.
They never. If you say you're cyclist, they're like,
they leave you alone.
Yeah,
They leave you alone. Yeah. But it is.
Yeah.
It's like your epitaph, or it's your.
Can you
your,
clean my bike for me?
Yeah, that never
kind of
happens.
shit. Yeah,
No.
really?
No.
I get people who say, I have this old bike from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Can you show me what to do with it?" I'm like, throw it away.
Rust it
Yeah,
out
yeah.
from the inside.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's been out by the barn outside.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But speaking of, like, when Jackson says, if you say you're a cyclist, at least in this portion, Spokane, if you say that, if they try and make that association, it's like, you may know my friend.
Yeah.
99% of the time, they're not a road cyclist.
He's training for his first Ironman.
It's usually mountain bikes.
Yeah.
He goes off the. Do you ever go off the edge?
Beacon,
Or the
But I
beacon?
know a lot. I know a lot of mountain bikes.
And that is, it's not a bad thing or anything, but that's, in this particular area, that is what a cyclist is. And
Yeah.
then when you make that separation as a road rider, you're one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the project I was on today, the owner of the drywall company, his son races a lot of downhill races from Whitefish to California to the west side.
Sure.
And immediately we had something to talk about. I mean, regardless of downhill mountain bike racing, I was like totally the last thing I said to him is, it's really cool that your son has picked a sport that isn't, just the norm of a high school kid. Because I was that,
Football, baseball, basketball.
Pick a cross country, skateboard, cyclist. You don't get more odd than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Paul, you played. I guess I played basketball, but
I was a skateboarder
football and basketball. I mean, you know what I mean. It's like it's so cool that
Loner, dork, loser.
You're supporting a
Hansen
kid
lover.
that's riding two
Sounds
like
familiar.
$7,000 downhill bikes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I immediately loved that guy.
But how about the fact that we consider ourselves somewhat outcasts, yet we are unable to necessarily. Yet within our sport, we have different genres of the sport, yet we all outcast each other. It's such a weird dynamic. It's kind of like skiers and snowboarders. It's like we are all
skiers
on
and skiers. It's kind of
we're all on snow going downhill,
Yeah.
but yet we're all so different. We're all on two wheels that are powered
Nordic
by
versus
pedal.
Alpine, and
It's just it blows me away how we're all so standoffish to each other.
The funny thing is, bringing up cyclists too. If once they realize you're a cyclist, they wonder why. Oh, do you race mountain bikes too? No, I don't. Why not?
Yeah.
Or downhill, or do you do gravel? No, I don't. And that always throws people off as like, why don't you? Is it you don't like? I mean, what you think is not hard enough? Yeah. And it's like just because you like one portion of it. I understand.
you pussy.
I have a place that I go to that's a pizza place just like a block away.
Oh, I was gonna say
Yeah.
closet.
And a lot of those guys, they ride together and they go off the beacon and mountain bike, and they have a great time. And they always
I love mountain biking. Am I the only
it's
one left
like-
in this panel that loves mountain biking?
No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't do it, but
Jackson's
How
like,
much I love it.
I lost him.
well, it's one of those things. If you enjoy doing that, that's fine. But we are different. There's a different type of riding. When they're out for 2 hours riding, and they've gone 14 miles, and you look at their elevation. Boy, they made some climbing, but they did a lot of descending in 2 hours. I mean, it's different, and they talk mainly about the flow track and catching air and hucking over this, and it's a different language, it's a different discipline, and it's not. I mean, I never raced a mountain bike, but I trained to do races, and I thought, I don't like this.
It's roller hockey versus ice hockey.
Yeah, it's a single track, and you get stuck behind people, and to me, it was just a TT on dirt, And I like TTing, but not when you got people you're trying to, on your left, hey, that type of thing. Cyclocross was the other thing. I did it for 2 years, and I don't even enjoy the race. I love watching it, and I like watching cross country mountain biking.
Yeah.
I don't care about downhill, but and gravel. Gravel, I think is cool, but I don't have any interest.
Yeah,
it's cool. I don't have any interest.
I lost Jackson too. He was the last mountain bike rider I had to ride with.
I think my thing with mountain biking is just I found that I like one thing more than I do the other. I really like. This is kind of funny. I found that as of recently, speed is one thing that I just enjoy the most. When I'm driving and I can take a corner like at speed. That's like one of like that's a thrill to me. And I found that with mountain biking, usually it's a lot slower than anything else is. And I like that feeling of adrenaline when you can hit a corner at speed or something like that, and it just kind of switched my focus. And especially this last year doing the Wednesday night mountain bike races, nothing at all against them, nothing. It's not their fault at all. It was just like I don't know how technically gifted I am as a rider in terms of like the mountain biking. I would consider
you got to spend time at it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying a person has to spend a lot of time, just like you would with any other discipline.
Yeah. And I think that the feeling of gravel and road racing is something that I really like and gravitate towards more.
Talking about hitting corners, nothing's better than hitting corners at speed in a crit.
You know what though?
I've
done some mountain bike races where you kind of are in a zone, and my technical skills aren't where they should be, but there are some times when I spend a lot of time on my mountain bike where I really, I got more adept than I had been in a long time, and it's a kind of a similar feeling, if not the same feeling. And I think that's what
like skiing, like alpine skiing carve, versus a crit where you're not just alone, but like in a pack at hitting it at speed is different.
Do we have a responsibility as two-wheeled aficionados to, number one, not be me and be nice to other people when they ask about the sport, and be nice to other people who ride in the sport? Do we all have to get in this
it'll grow the sport
in this Hands Across America thing where we all have to become cyclists in harmony?
I think to the first question, to people who aren't involved in it, we should be nice to them. They don't know about it. It's just like explaining anything to.
They might be a volunteer someday.
Yeah.
Or a little kid who rides alongside the pros. It's a bottle, and then it's a book and scholarship to Harvard.
He might be a world champion one day.
But if you think about it, I guess we can put it in familiar terms for you and I. It's like it's a teaching moment where you can look at somebody and let somebody understand what you experience, and I think that's a special thing in and of itself, because then they can kind of get a little of that excitement that you gain from it. I think that's really a special interaction. The other question, should we be nice to the people in the sport? It depends on where you are. I think if it's a road racing pack, no, you don't have to be nice to everybody. Be nice to the people that are nice to you. If people are mean to you or do dangerous things, don't be nice to them. That's just it is what it is. Yeah. Take those. Put your floor pump or put your mini pump in their spokes. But
if it's in a bar in Belgium, grab the bottle by the neck, smash the end over the bar, and go for their throat.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Let's take a knee and just hit their handlebar.
Oh,
like that. There you go.
I just grab them by the scruff and just fucking shake them.
Or reach over and grab
going through a corner, one-handed shaking.
Didn't somebody grab somebody's stem?
That was up in Canada in Junior Worlds qualifier, and it was Nathan Margaret.
Yeah.
Was that who?
Somebody grabbed his stem?
It was a French guy, and he didn't like what he was doing.
Nate grabbed his stem.
No, he grabbed Nate's stem and just picked him up in the middle of the pack and picked it up 2 or 3 times, pumped, and said, "Je t'appelle quoi? Je veux quoi?" And he's like, man.
That would scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Crazy. That would scare me to death. I had so much more planned. I was going to honestly have us get into the point that we had responsibilities and rules that we all needed to commonly follow.
Fuck that.
And we were gonna rewrite the Velaminati, but Paul, I think, said it best. Fuck that, right? Yeah, exactly. We're doing the Fondo this weekend, right?
Yeah. I'm there.
No.
Gore jacket and all.
No. Fuck no.
You want to sit out in the rain and watch us skip?
No, I'm busy.
Gloves?
Oh yeah,
Paul, I'll have 2 pair probably.
It's gonna be epic in a probably not so enjoyable way.
Sorry, I'm missing.
Jack, you're on the shit list for next year, man.
I haven't burned any matches this year, so I'm
yeah.
So I'm
Do we classify
buy
it?
A new bike next year for next year?
We were talking about
Fenders.
about Canyon before we went online.
Yeah.
Looking at what.
Well, whatever. Whoever has a bike in November.
yeah, no kidding.
There you go.
Yeah.
But no, Fenders, winter riding. You guys can come out to the harbor. It's just rain.
Is this the end of the season? Is this our official end of the season? The
Without a
Fondo.
doubt.
This is it.
It's coming. Yeah.
Lights off after this Saturday. God damn that.
Back
shit.
to Zwift.
You know-
Cartoon children.
This is usually where CP and I. It's his birthday today.
It is CP's birthday.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Happy birthday, CP!
Happy born
This
day.
is where we
beautiful curmudgeon.
take our guns and our dogs for a walk, but no, we no longer have dogs that
Or
hunt.
guns.
And I sold my gun.
Oh,
I
shit.
sold my shotgun, so
Oh.
I'm done.
If
So I just
if he says to buy a car, I'm gonna be really fucking impressed.
no cars are off my list. They don't stay in my driveway very long.
Oh God! Well, you guys, thanks once again for another a wonderful, lively discussion. I think it was karma that, not karma. It was just fate that the fact that we started last week with 3 cameras, and tonight I started with 2 cameras, and then 1 camera died during it because my objective for the next show is to have 3 brand new cameras here, hopefully showing around the studio. So if you are into the podcast, if you like watching it online live for an hour and a half of your life, I want your job. You will be able to catch us on multiple platforms. That I'm making a promise there. Might not be next week, but you're going to be able to see all the paint removal stuff that I've been doing on the walls and all the stuff like that. I got some fun ideas.
Are we doing some new heat in here?
I think we better.
That's where I need your help, gentlemen. That's where I need your
That and
help.
a urinal.
Yep. That and a urinal.
I gotta pee.
That we don't dump in.
That we do
Never
not
dumped in the
shit
urinal.
in a urinal.
This isn't Portland.
Maybe we
Yes.
should just put in a toilet. Because we might have.
Do you
heaven
really
forbid-
want to
I
invite
don't-
somebody
I
to
don't-
sit down?
Yeah.
No,
Do you
well,
like right
Sitting
there.
on your
Right
on
there.
your toilet.
No,
dumping.
no. I mean, in the far end of the room, we might have somebody who's
Emergency.
not male on this show. Heaven forbid. You know, like. you know.
Well, she can go upstairs.
Well, just like in Step Brothers, there's that one scene where the girl came into that.
I think she said, "Stay cool, pony boy," or something like that. Well, she did it. Horribly, horribly disgusting movie.